So in this online pattern cutting tutorial, we're going to be really looking at the building blocks of draping. We're going to be creating elements that we can then take to drape with, so making interesting silhouettes on the mannequin that we wouldn't normally be able to achieve via the drawing method of design alone. So the first one we're going to start with today is the rectangle. So we want to get our calico, give it a press, prep it. We're going to cut a calico strip 10 centimetres wide by 50 centimetres long. So I'm just marking it up now with a pink pen, and I'm really only using the pink so you can see. You're welcome to use whatever colour you want. So I'm making the 10 centimetre wide strip, and I'm going to quickly cut that out. Once that strip's being cut out, we can discard the rest of the fabric because we're going to use it at a later date. And now on one side only, I'm going to mark every 5 centimetres. And we're going to use this measurement to help us to create the pleats, which is what's going to give us the volume of the frill. So once that's complete, I'm going to need some pins now, and I'm going to put that first notch on top, or that first pink mark on top of the next pink mark, and in doing so I'm going to create a pleat, and I'm going to just pop a little pin in there just to keep it in place. So you need to take your time, do this nicely, don't rush it. You don't have to do marks, you can do it completely freehand, that's completely acceptable. I'm just showing you if you wanted to do quite a sort of neat one, how you would approach it. Okay, so there's our first one that we've done. And now we're going to make a few other ones just so we can get a feeling for how they can, using the same technique, you can get quite a lot of different looks really. So this one I'm going to make a lot smaller. This strip is going to be 6 centimetres wide. It's the same length as the other strip, as I just used the offcut from the fabric. So I'm drawing my line in again, and this time I'm going to go with a much smaller pleat. So once I've cut it out, I'm going to do a mark every 2 centimetres just to show you what the difference is. So now I'm doing the marks on the one side every 2 cms. I mean, these are just example measurements that I'm just showing you the technique. When it comes to your own design, you can, have whatever size you like, of course. I'm going to work a half scale mannequin today, really so you can see my process of how I work, and just also for speed. It's absolutely fine to work full scale as well. So what you can do for that is you could, if you wanted to, you could increase the size. So if you, instead of doing a 10 centimetre frill, you could do a 20 centimetre. Really, you're the designer of the pattern and how it's going to look. So the sense of proportion is kind of your choice. So once you've completed all of these little frills, I just want to compare it to the other one. Can you see the difference? They've got quite a different look, haven't they, for the same technique? Now I'm going to do another one which is really tiny, and I'm going to go for 4 centimetres. I'm going to cut the strip the same length as the original, obviously, because we're still using the same bit of fabric. It's best to try and not waste any fabric at all if you can, guys. Cut it out, obviously. So now I've cut it out, I've decided that on this one I am going to pleat it freehand. I'm not going to mark it up with the pink pen or anything. I'm just going to put them wherever I feel, and I'm going to work much closer together than I have done on the other style, so there's not really any space between the pleats at all. Okay, so now we've completed that, and I just want to show you how they all look together, because they all do look quite different from each other. I've just moved the pins down a little bit on there. So here are the 3 that we've made in total. I've quickly sewn over the top of the pleats on each of the frills just so they don't come out, because I've got my sewing machine. If you don't have one, it's fine to keep them pinned, or you can hand sew them. And then what I'm doing is I'm using the frills and I'm draping them all around the miniature mannequin. I'm trying them into different positions, seeing what I like. You can go around the body, up and down, up to you. The main thing to remember is to document every single drape that you do, so that you can have it in your sketchbook and use it for design work at a later date.